Use that right-footed pivot, swing around on your opponent's side, and then crack.
UFC 1, Mike Tyson versus Royce Gracie. What would have happened? Let's talk about it right now.
Let's pull a plug on them and pull an all-nighter. Sing a song, y'all. Yeah, Philly to France, feeling it. Life sentence, it's a chance to make it happen. It's time to get the record captured. What goes on in my mind now is melodic. Time is coming gone, I'm still here, it's living proof. $1 million thoughts, triple time to raise the roof. Stakes were high, bought them by the pound, time to grill it. Skill at the stage, flipping the page, time to kill it. Stick a fork in it, never, I'm far too much. Got a thing for lady luck, offspring's the result. I'm the man with the foolproof plan, insurance and dental plan. They still playing with Mickey and fam in Disneyland. Real life, my life's like surreal life. Every day feels like a Saturday feels like. If imitation is the best form of...
UFC 1, we know who the champ was, Royce Gracie. Royce and the Gracie family put Jiu Jitsu on the map, changed combat sports forever. But what would have happened if Iron Mike Tyson, Kid Dynamite, would have got in the octagon with Royce that night? Let's go into a few intangibles right now. So a few things that you can't really see with Mike is that toughness, that spirit, that warriorness, that street thug life have you at that age. The Street Fighter, brawler, came up, was taken under the wings by Cus D'Amato. What would have happened if he would have actually got in that octagon? Looking here, Royce defeated Art Jimerson, Ken Shamrock, and Gerald Gordeau, the kickboxer, at the end. And there was some competition with some boxing, a little bit of kickboxing, a little bit of sumo, a little bit of wrestling. But there wasn't the same caliber of fighter as Mike Tyson. There's been arguments on both sides of what would have happened. I've talked with former UFC fighters, current UFC fighters, refs, and they've all had differing opinions. But right now, I'm going to tell you why Mike Tyson would have knocked out Royce Gracie. Mike was cut from a different cloth. His explosiveness is something that was unseen, unmatched. Even right now, at 54 years old, he still was explosive. If you watch that fight against Roy Jones Jr., you'll see that he still has some juice in the tank. Not to compete with the heavyweights of right now, but the explosiveness has slowly gone away, but he still has the same power. In his prime, they would have been 27 years old. Him and Royce are essentially the same age. And if he would have been in there and Royce would have stayed at a distance, started coming in, if Mike clips Royce with one of his left hooks, left straight, right straight, a jab, that is definitely going to hurt Royce Gracie. Royce Gracie was all of 170 pounds soaking wet. Mike Tyson is 215, 220. Ripped, chiseled, and has a low center of gravity. I mean, Mike's 5'10", Royce is about 5'10", 5'11", or right around there. And Mike's center of gravity, it would have been really hard for Royce to just come in and take him down. If Mike would have thrown an uppercut, that's taking Royce out. There's not a lot of room for error for Royce Gracie to get on Mike, because as soon as he takes one punch, then if he's hurt a little bit, Mike's going to capitalize on that. Royce was able to push the pace against the kickboxers and some of the other. Ken Shamrock was a one of attrition where Ken was bigger and probably a little bit faster, but Royce had better technique. But again, Ken Shamrock isn't the same caliber, that same beast as Mike Tyson was. If they would have gotten in the ring, if they would have gotten into the octagon, I think Royce Gracie has a chance, but in this scenario, I'm going to give it to Mike Tyson. That Iron Mike, that Iron Will, at that age, he wasn't fighting in 1993 when UFC 1 came out. He was incarcerated. He didn't have a fight against 1995, but it's safe to assume that he still has some explosiveness and probably would have been around his prime of his career athletically. So Mike or Royce? We'll never know, but it's kind of fun to think that what would have happened. And in this one, I got Mike by KO.